Hey guys, this is Krishna. I'm coming back to you with another tool of Davinci's Resolve 17. Let me just start it off just right now. Boom, we are about to take off right now. So we already saw the media page, a little bit of the cut page, and also the edit page. What we're gonna be seeing now is gonna be we're gonna see a little bit more of the color page, the Fairlight, which is for sound, and also the delivery page. So let me just go in, start this project over here, just like this. Boom, we're good to go. Let me just import some of some project files there for you guys that we're gonna be using. Let me just see here. I have some samples just like this, and we went over it the last time. So this is what I have here. Okay, so I have imported my footages, and now after the edit page here, we would actually, let's do that. So we'll probably add some footages just like this. Yeah, it's just right there clipped. I'm gonna add this just like this over here. Okay, and maybe just do this over here, and let's add this over here. Let's just put it here like that. And do we need some? Okay, let's add a little bit of the sound over here. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, sorry, and usually I need to go in the settings and actually change it, because there is a way for you to handle the sound and actually not have it play every time you handle it. So that is one thing. But over here, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna actually bring this down a little bit here, just like that. Okay, so I will just bring it down just like this. And sometimes, a lot of times over here, you're gonna see the waveforms. It lets you know a little bit if you see it like really big. So yeah, the sound is really the volume is really high. But if you see it tiny, it means that the volume is down and you're good to go. And I can then review it, and now it's a little bit better, right? So yeah, so we have a little bit of a quick edit over here, nothing too fancy. Next one after that would be Fusion. I don't use that much, and you definitely can do a lot here from what I've seen. I'm probably just gonna show you maybe a couple things here at some point, but for now we're just gonna move forward, go to color, and over here at color, if you're familiar with Photoshop, if you did some color correction, if there is Photoshop, Lightroom, any of the what is the other software, Affinity Photo, Affinity Design, any of those software, photo manipulation software there, you're gonna be able to understand this a lot more quickly than if you did not, right? A lot of times, so over here basically, so you're gonna have all the different effects here that you can change. A lot of times the only thing that I'm really using, I mean the thing that I'm using the most would be the curve and the wheel over here. So a lot of times for the curve is really to bring out a little bit more of the highlights and maybe the shadow as well. Really quickly, you could do that just by bringing the curve a little bit in, just by the point where those things, I mean, you see those curves. And usually a lot of times you're going to use as well some of the waveforms that you have here. They're going to help you to really um, see what is the spectrum of the different colors. So the RGB over here, so red, green, and blue. So the one of the rule of thumb, or one of the things that you can follow, is to have the color actually be in the full spectrum here, right? So from the bottom here to the top, but you still need to make sure that your image is looking good, because depending on what information you have captured, that can make this information wrong. So it's up to you, your eye, what is working for you. So like I mentioned, I use a lot the curve here, and as well as some of the wheels here, make some quick edit a lot of times. But like I mentioned, if you're already familiar with Photoshop, this will come in fairly easy for you. The clips, this is the way you select them. So the clips that you want to edit, this is the way you will select it and make a different edit for this one. So let me just actually select it here. So you see there, this one is really subtle. It doesn't change much, but maybe for the other one, you actually saw it a little bit. And this one actually changed when I move it. All right, so this is how you will do it. I do as well use a little bit of the window over here to hide some of the information with blurriness, with a little bit of blur. So that's one of the things I do. Another thing that I have here is those nodes, and those nodes in Lightroom, or maybe Photoshop. Actually, Photoshop, I would say it's a little bit more like layers. So you could create another kind of node where you would be adding additional effects to it, and everything is being combined. So everything is being generated. You could add it before, after. So anything is being generated. You go from here. The image processing will start here, and by the end, it's gonna take all of those two into account until it comes at the end of it here, right? So that's usually the way those nodes work, but we're gonna be able to look at it a little bit more in depth. Next one here would be Fairlight, and over here this is where you take care of your audio. So let me just make sure. Okay. So the sound is not too overbearing over here. So you would have some of your sound playing here as well. So over here, if I click on Inspector, if I click on Audio, I have um, some settings there that I can change for the audio only. So volume, pan, pitch, equalizer, that kind of thing. The settings that you change in here do affect the sound, and those ones are good because you can actually come back to it and change it again later on. But if you use, let's say, some of the effects that you have here, you drag and drop it into the audio, that tends to stay with the audio. You have modified the audio, from the origin, if you wanna say, right? But the best thing to, if you have make some sounds, did any kind of music production. A lot of times you would find the best way to go, unless it's really on purpose, you really want that sound to be modified that way and sound that way. But a lot of time it is best to actually do those type of adding those effects and um, do those type of have those type of plugins or effects on and those type of changes on the bus, the audio bus itself, right? Because over here it's easy to add effects, remove effects, change something, leave it as is. It's pretty easy to do. So we have a little bit more options here. We can decide what are the information that we want to see. So let's say we don't want to see any pen, we can decide to do that, right? So let's say over here I want to remove the equalizer and the dynamics. I just do that and it is gone. So it's really up to you what kind of information you want to see over here. Okay. So that's a little bit of the Fairlight, the audio page basically, and you will notice that it's really easy. DaVinci Resolve is walking you through the different steps that you need to take, right, until the delivery. So we're gonna start here. We have loaded our content into our project, make the edits, the cuts that we wanted to make. If there was any 3D effects, After Effects that we wanted to add there, it was added. We have color corrected our footages so they look nice and crisp. And now we are working on our sound, on our audio, mixing all those different effects. And when everything is done, we move to delivery. So one thing I just want to mention, like again, it is a free software, but it is very, you really have a lot of options there for you, and a lot of times really it's really to know what you need to use, and you can stick to that and you're good. if you want to explore, you're curious, you're adventurous, go ahead, but a lot of times you're gonna find that you're only using the same tools over and over, and the ones that, unless there is something else that you do, that you maybe there's something else maybe you want to do, and whatever workflow you had before, you could not do it at that time. You will go and learn whatever you need to learn to use that new tool, but a lot of times it's just going to do the same workflow, right? So now we're going to the delivery page, and over here you already have a few presets available. You can create new presets if you want to, but a lot of times it has you covered here for for some of the most popular uh, presets. But a lot of time what I just use is YouTube, right? So you would give a name here, and let's say we send it to whatever place you want to send it. I'm going to send it to my desktop, and and over here, when everything is done, I'm just going to add this to my render queue, right? And you can add several jobs basically to your queue. So over here I have, if I want to export something maybe in YouTube in 1080p, and maybe something else in YouTube for YouTube in 720, I can definitely do that, right? So one would be 1080p, 783. If I want to add as well Vimeo to the list, I have it here, right? If there is something I need to change, I just click here, go back and make the change, and when everything is done, um, let me just do this the job. When everything is done, I can just come here, render all, and everything is gonna render at the same time. Okay, so that is basically all I wanted to show you for today. I'm gonna come back with something else the next time. Okay, enjoy and talk to you later.